And they sit there in the car, and it is one of those moments that not many people get to have, especially in high school, where things are just like, wow, this is really nice. We're getting
Yeah.
along. Like
Yeah.
we're not, nobody's rushing into anything. Nobody's doing anything. We're just here together, arm in arm. Love it. And he very made sense to me, looks in Rory's eyes and says, I love you. And Rory just stares back. And he says, Rory? And she goes, uh-huh. Now, this is one of the most controversial scenes of Gilmore Girls. Um, just to keep painting the picture, he now starts freaking out because she's not saying anything. And he says, oh my God, you don't love me. And she says, no, I just have to think about it. Don't be mad. And he says, why would you have to think about it? What do you need to go home and talk to your mother about it? Which I thought, strike one,
Wow. Yeah.
strike one.
What is that supposed to mean? Maybe I do.
Yeah, and then she says, "Hey, listen, it's not that easy for me. Think about my parents. Think about where I come from. My mom said I love you to my dad." And he goes, "You don't get pregnant saying I love you," says Dean. Strike 2 and 3 as far as I'm concerned. Who the hell says stuff like that to
Yeah.
someone you just said I love you to? And she says, "I just need a minute." And Dean says, "Let's go." He doesn't even wait for her. He leaves the junkyard. She has to get out of the car and follow him. He's taking her home. What the hell just happened?
Yeah. But she also did at one point in her rambling and like trying to like put out the fire, she said, I love the car.
Yeah, that was
Which
bad.
was strike one
Strike
for
one
her.
to you. Strike one to yeah.
Strike one to her, because she's trying to like soothe him and say something that'll like not hurt his feelings.
That was one of the worst things you can say.
So that was one of
Yeah.
the worst things she could say. But I
Yeah.
don't know that there is anything she could have said.
I think staying quiet, to me, staying quiet was perfectly reasonable. I think if you're the first person to say I love you in a relationship, you do not expect it back. You just leave it there and you keep going. I just don't think that, and obviously they're children. This might be the first time he ever said I love you. They were very much in an I love you place. Like she obviously loves and adores him, but it didn't come out of her face fast enough. And I thought he turned into something that we haven't seen from him yet.
Yeah. Yeah. He
I
turned
do
in.
not like this boy
Well,
at
this
that
is
moment.
hurt, hurt Dean. And we haven't seen that yet, right? Like he hasn't been.
Yes, and this used to fly with men and boys that they can just get this version of angry. And it's like, well, you hurt their feelings. So, of course, they're allowed to basically lash out and say anything they want, which I'm very much against. And I think it was very normal and normalized to speak to a girl that way when you weren't getting your way, which is all that was happening here. If he waited another beat, and she was getting vulnerable. She was saying, hey, look at my past, look at my parents. And he shut it down. You don't get pregnant by saying I love you.
That was,
Oh,
I thought that's what made him lose his chance
very gross.
of like,
And she's still trying to pull him back. Look, just give me a second. Look, I'm having a moment. Like she's having her own moment. He's having a moment. And their moments are clashing very poorly with each
yeah.
other.